The Empathy Bridge, a story about emotional intelligence and connection. Have you ever had a conversation where you felt like you were speaking a different language? In this episode of The Mind's Blueprint, we explore the unspoken language that connects us all, emotional intelligence, and we reveal the psychological blueprint for building bridges of empathy and understanding. David was a highly successful architect, but his personal life was in shambles. He could design a skyscraper down to the last bolt, but he couldn't navigate a simple disagreement with his wife Maria. He approached every conflict like a problem to be solved with logic and data. When Maria said, "I'm worried you're working too much, boss," he would show her a spreadsheet of his hours and the project timeline, explaining why her concerns were irrational. But his logic only made things worse. The more he tried to fix the problem, the more distant they became. He was so focused on the blueprint of a building that he had forgotten the blueprint of a human heart. His mentor, an old retired architect named Mr. Thompson, had a reputation for not only building incredible structures, but also for his profound wisdom. Over coffee one morning, David vented his frustrations. "I don't understand it, Mr. Thompson. I'm being perfectly logical, but it's like she doesn't hear me." Mr. Thompson just smiled. "David, a building is a framework of steel. A relationship is a framework of feelings. You can't use a hammer to build a bridge between two hearts. You need to use empathy." He introduced David to the concept of emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage one's own emotions, and most importantly, to recognize and influence the emotions of those around you. It was a completely foreign concept to David, who had spent his life valuing objective data over subjective feelings. Mr. Thompson gave him a three-step blueprint for building an empathy bridge. If you've ever felt misunderstood or struggled to connect with those you love, hit that subscribe button to discover more blueprints for your mind. Mr. Thompson's blueprint was surprisingly simple, and it had nothing to do with logic. Practice of feeling first. Pause. Before responding to any emotional conversation, David was to pause and ask himself, what is the feeling behind the words? When Maria said, "I'm worried you're working too much," the feeling wasn't ours, but loneliness and fear. This simple pause allowed him to respond to the emotion rather than the logic. Use I statements to share your own feelings. Instead of saying, "Your worry is irrational," David was to start his sentences with his own feelings. For example, "I feel overwhelmed when I think about missing our time together," or "I feel scared of failing this project." This shared vulnerability created a connection, inviting Maria to meet him on the bridge. Learn to listen with empathy goggles. Mr. Thompson gave him the metaphor of empathy goggles, a tool to see the world from another person's perspective. David began to actively listen, not to formulate a response, but to understand. He would say, "It sounds like you feel unheard," or "I hear that you're worried about our future." This mirrored their feelings back, showing that he was truly listening. It was an awkward and difficult process for David at first. He had to resist his logical brain's impulse to fix the problem. But as he started to build these small emotional connections, he saw a profound change. He and Maria began to talk openly about their feelings, not just their problems. Their disagreements didn't disappear, but they were no longer walls between them. Instead, they became a chance to build the bridge stronger. David discovered that the most complex and beautiful structures in life aren't made of steel and glass, but of shared feelings and mutual understanding. He learned that true connection isn't about having all the answers, but about having the courage to meet someone in the messy, beautiful middle of a feeling. In a world of constant communication, the greatest skill is not speaking, but listening. By building a blueprint for emotional intelligence, you can create relationships that are not just strong, but truly connected. Join us next time to uncover more of the mind's blueprint. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights into the human mind.